Their performances were better than we thought they would potentially be, as AJ Mitchell and Dillon Jones did not disappoint when they stepped on the floor, showing why the Oklahoma City Thunder drafted them where they did, along with Isaiah Hartenstein and Alex Caruso getting their first minutes played as members of the Oklahoma City Thunder. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a squad, not just at the NBA level, but at the G League level as well, because Dillon Jones and AJ Mitchell, with how stacked this team is, they might be spending a decent amount of time, especially AJ Mitchell, since he was drafted in the second round, are potentially going to be spending a good amount of time with the Oklahoma City Blue and the G League organization. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, as that just goes to show how deep this team truly is. As Oklahoma City Thunder, it was a rough start when you look at the starting lineup, which we'll get into all that today. When you look at the starting lineup, it was a rough start for the guys that we had out there, as Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein didn't start. It's probably because Coach Mark wants them to kind of earn their way into the starting lineup, would be my guess. But nevertheless, as soon as they stepped on the court, we started dominating. Right? When Hartenstein and Caruso came on, it was game over. And so we're going to break that all down here today on Thunder Digest. Before we get all that, though, just a quick moment to recognize that if you guys find yourself coming back on a regular basis, watching these videos all the way through, or if you're new to the channel and you like what we're putting out here at Thunder Digest and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is to hit the subscribe button. With that out of the way, we can go ahead and get into doing, I know we're a little late for a post-game analysis, but it's my personal thoughts, what I came away with from the first preseason game. And we're also going to use my little, tidbits and, parts from my first article published at Thunderous Intentions, as those are truly what I took away from the game. Now, first, going into the box score. All right. That's the first thing, of course, we're going to check out here. So as you can see instantly, all right, the starting lineup was not what I was expecting at all. Ousmane Dieng in there, not really. I wasn't really expecting that. Ousmane Dieng and Aaron Wiggins starting. Now, Aaron Wiggins, I can kind of get starting. Truly, I get that. But no Caruso, no Hartenstein. That's a little surprising, especially Dieng in there. I think they wanted to see the improvement that he's made so far, as I could kind of see that if he does get some time, that is a squad that he'd be running with quite a bit. And so I can kind of see it, but he didn't really impress me all that much. 1 of 6 from the field, 0 of 2 from behind the three-point line. His box score, it wasn't really the greatest. 2 points, 6 boards, 2 assists. He did finish with 2 blocks. That's just because he's an athletic freak. It's not that he's fighting down low and he's doing well on the interior. He's just an athletic freak. He got blown by on one of them, and thankfully with his long reach and his quick first step, he was able to recover. But he didn't really impress me at all. The guys that really impressed me, you're going to notice these 2 guys back-to-back right here, Isaiah Hartenstein and Alex Caruso. Plus minuses of plus 20, both of them, all right? Plus 20. And sure, they didn't score a lot. Alex Caruso's impact you're not going to see in the box score. You're not. You're going to see it by actually watching the game. See the turnovers he forces, all the bad shots. And it kind of shows, I'm just going to bring up San Antonio's box score real quick so you can kind of see they didn't shoot the ball all that well either. 45% from the field. 39%, blah, 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 only scored 107. And they weren't doing well in the first half when Caruso and Hartenstein were playing, is the thing, is what I'm trying to get out here. So when Caruso and Hartenstein were on the floor, their defense, or not, I say their defense, their offensive presence just disappeared. But going back to us, all right, in 17 minutes of play, Caruso finished with 5 points, a block, a steal, 5 assists and 2 boards right there, going 2 of 3 from the field. Isaiah Hartenstein went 2 of 5 from the field, and he took a 3-pointer, which I was really impressed by. All right, that just, even though he missed it, it was a front iron miss. It goes to show that he's confident in taking that shot. All right, and he was open. He had it, and he didn't hesitate at all. He just let that thing go. He pulled the Chris move and went, why not let it fly? But like I was also mentioning in here, you can really see his impact. All right, 8 rebounds. 3 of them being offensive boards. And then 7 assists from the big man in 7 minutes of play, 4 points, a block, and a steal along with that. Insane stat line to put up right there. Insane. All right? I truly believe Isaiah Hartenstein, he could average a double-double if he starts. I think he could average like 10 points, 10 rebounds, and maybe even 5 assists with all the scoring that we have on the squad if he does start. Then AJ Mitchell and Dillon Jones, of course, are guys that really popped off. Dillon Jones was my MVP of the game last night, 17 points. So what he finished with, along with 5 boards and 3 assists. Defensively, no really, big-time stats there, but he was using his size, his wingspan to really contest shots there. 8 for 11 from the field. That's great, shooting splits right there. Great efficiency. 1 of 1 from behind the three-point line. And then, of course, A.J. Mitchell played lights out as well. 19 points, 8 of 13 from the field, 1 of 4 from the three-point line. 2 boards, 2 assists, and 1 steal, and that's really the extent of it. But really good outings from them to start off this preseason. Their first, time in action. Now, going into my personal thoughts, all right? I kind of already gave you those when I was talking about the stat lines, but these are what I wrote down and what I came away with the game. Right from the moment they stepped foot on the floor, it became evident what kind of impact they'll be bringing to this team in 2024-2025. This is talking about Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein. The defense drastically improved, and the offense finally seemed like they could get something going. Caruso has always been known as a defensive menace, but Monday he showcased that once again as he forced turnovers left and right. It seemed as though no one could score against Caruso all night long when he was in the game. Even though this is about Hartenstein now, only finished with 4 points, created a ton of downhill drives for guys like Jalen Williams and Cason Wallace. That's something I really noticed, all right, for pick and rolls. If they're going to guard Hartenstein, you're going to let Jalen Williams drive to the rim like that? They're even doing it with Chet Holmgren, all right? So he's already opening up this offensive plan a bunch more now that we have a viable screen setter and someone with a big body like Hartenstein on the floor. Hartenstein missed his lone shot from long range, but it's the fact he was willing to take it that counts. He didn't hesitate at all when he saw the opportunity. If this is added to his game, you can see him averaging a double-double of ease, just like I was saying. Now, we're going to go ahead and get into the 2 rookies now who really, really impressed me the whole night when they were on the court. This is about A.J. Mitchell starting off. The guard ended up finishing with 19 points on 8 for 13 shooting, while also notching 2 assists and a rebound. 2 assists and 2 rebounds. A.J. Was driving well the entire night, was able to finish through tough contact. This not only shows he can attack the lane, but he has confidence in his ability to do so. It is hard to teach confidence, so the fact Mitchell already has it is great for the team. The only downside of his game was defense. This is expected, though, since the NBA level offense is completely different than college. Now going into Dillon Jones. Jones first came in where there was no center left on the court, kind of going into what Mark Daigneault talked about a little bit, talking about how Dillon Jones was playing as, in quotation marks here, the center in some lineups. That's purely because he's 6'6", 240 pounds, and has like a 7'2" wingspan, but I'll talk about that later on as well. Jones, so he technically filled that role. He did manage well there for having 6'6" body and weighing 240 pounds of muscle certainly helps. His wingspan is also massive, which came in handy as well. What stood out the most, however, was his mid-range jumper. In college, he was not known for shooting, but rather his ability to drive to the lane and buy buckets in the paint. If Dillon Jones can now add a 3-point shot into his arsenal, the Thunder may be forced to find minutes for him. And that was something that everyone was talking about the entirety of the night. When the preseason game was going on, the Thunder are going to be forced to find ways to get Dillon Jones and A.J. Mitchell in the game. All right, they're going to be forced to find them rotation minutes. Dillon Jones, I think that's the case because you took him in the first round. I think he actually brings more to the table currently than A.J. Mitchell purely because of his frame. He reminds me a lot of Lou Dort, how he plays. He's aggressive, all right? He's not afraid to do the dirty work. He's not afraid to be physical when he needs to be. If he can just develop that 3-point shot, that'd be great to add. A lot of people are saying they could see Dillon Jones starting in 2 years on the squad if we end up losing 2 of our starters. Now that I'm not necessarily agreeing with, because you also got to keep in mind we're going to have Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, Shai, hopefully Dub and Chet still. And so it's one of those things, Dort as well. It's one of those things where that's a little bit of a stretch right there, saying in 2 years he could start for the squad. But I do think next year, if we don't keep Alex Caruso for some reason, even though Sam Presti has already made it clear they want to keep Alex Caruso, I could see Dillon Jones getting an increase in minutes to like 12 minutes a game or so. And I think he'd be really valuable for us in that role. So he's someone that we got to keep and hold on. All right. I think he has the skill set, the frame, and the mentality to play with Oklahoma City and be stuck with this team for a while. So that's really intriguing to see. The same with A.J. Mitchell. He reminds me a lot of Aaron Wiggins. It's just Dillon Jones. I've been more impressed by him so far. If he just develops that 3-point shot, no reason he can't come away as the steal of the 2024 NBA draft. And the Thunder may have came away with the best draft class out of that draft as well. That's all I got for this video, though, for my little, first preseason reaction, I guess, if you want to say that. Let me know what you guys personally thought if you guys were watching the game at all. Let me know what you guys thought personally about everyone's performances, and I'll see you guys in the next video.